In a previous presentation, we discussed the meaning of quality education, the elements of quality education, and the importance of quality education. The current presentation is aimed at discussing the implementation stage of quality education. So generally, before the practical implementation of the quality education project, the first thing that we need to do is to ensure quality at the policy and planning stage. That is then followed by the practical implementation stage, which is then followed by the evaluation and the insurance of quality at the evaluation and assessment stage, and lastly, the insurance of quality at the revision and improvement stage. So we will briefly discuss these stages one by one. First, quality at the policy or planning stage. So as we know that any education system, before it is practically implemented, need to be devised at a policy level, and so there is the planning stage that comes before the implementation stage. So at the planning stage, what we need to do is, first of all, that there should be strategic and robust policies and planning related to the development of an educational system that then is later on implemented. So strategic planning, robust, authentic policy making that generally comes out of the political will of a people or a society or a nation is important. This is then the next step at this stage is effective governance of the policy formulation and the policy implementation. So governance, effective governance at this stage is extremely important. The next is resource allocation and proper budgeting. So as we know that all endeavors, including education, involves the use of economic resources, and so proper budgeting and resource allocation is something that is extremely important. And so the material needs of the implementation of a particular educational policy or educational infrastructure is something that is extremely important. Robust implementation strategies at the policy and planning stage that are realistic and that are rooted in the practical situation in which that education is actually kind of planned. That is something that is extremely important. Then effective curriculum development. Again, before the practical implementation of the educational process at the education institution level, it is important that the curriculum that is developed is effective and in line with the needs and requirements of the society. And after that, the last step at the policy and planning stage is there should be a proper monitoring system so that the quality concept of education is implemented. Then the next stage is the quality at the delivery stage. So after devising and planning the education system at the policy and planning level, the next in the practical stage, which is directly related to the implementation concept, is that there should be quality at the curriculum development stage. So first of all, the curriculum that is developed in response to the educational needs of a society or a state, that should be quality oriented. Secondly, there should be quality at the curriculum delivery stage. So the curriculum development stage also needs quality checks, but at the same time then the quality, the delivery of the curriculum, that is the practical teaching learning process or the pedagogical considerations, ensuring quality at that stage is also important. Thirdly, quality at the teaching learning of the teaching learning environments in the educational institutions. That is something that is important at the delivery stage if you want to ensure quality education. And lastly, quality at the evaluation stage. We also need to properly evaluate the product of the educational process, and so good quality evaluation should be a part of the overall education system that can lead to quality education. The next stage then is quality at the assessment and evaluation stage. Assessment and evaluations are important and integral parts of the educational process. So in order to ensure quality education, we need to develop authentic and fair assessment and evaluation systems, so that we have systems that can actually authentically, realistically assess the real learning and the possible transformation of the students, the knowledge, the skills, and the attitudes of the students as a result of the education system. Then validity and reliability of the assessment, ensuring that the assessment processes are valid and reliable. And next, that there is use of multiple assessment methods. Generally, it is important that we know that students come from different backgrounds. There is the concept of multiple intelligences, and so students might be evaluated in line with their particular requirements, with their particular specialities. So multiple assessment methods is kind of leads to a more just system of evaluation, a more authentic system of evaluation. Then formative, summative assessments and evaluation should be part of a good quality assessment system. Formative assessments take place throughout the educational process, the various stages of the educational process, while summative assessments generally take place towards the end of the educational process. So quality assessments will have both of these types of assessments. And lastly, assessments should be considered as a means to an end to authentically assess students' learning rather than an end in themselves. So assessment itself should be a process of education. The last stage is the quality, the assurance of quality at the revision or improvement stage. So all educational systems need continuous revision and improvement in line with the changing needs of the society, the changing needs of time. So therefore, in order to ensure good quality education, there is need for collection and analysis of comprehensive data and feedback for improvement. There is also need for analysis of the outcomes of educational process in the light of educational objectives and aims. So we need to make sure whether our education system is actually leading to achieving our objectives and our aims. And there should be evidence-based curriculum revision. So we need to revise curriculum, and for that, then there is need for evidence that will come through research and analysis of the curriculum and the assessment systems. And lastly, quality assurance at the implementation stage will also need involvement of stakeholders such as the policy analysts who keep on analyzing our policies, educationists, intellectuals, society leaders, and professionals in the review process. So these are some of the important steps that need to be taken in order to ensure quality education at the implementation stage.